GearNetwork.com.
Hello, Sanjay. What are you doing? I am using my Gear Network app on my mobile device, my friend. Oh, Gear Network app. What is that? Well, do you listen to Get Ready America? No. Do you listen to Better Life Than Dead? No. Do you listen to Misguided Musings? I do not know. Well, my friend, they are very good shows and they are on this network. You can download the app by visiting gearnetwork.mobapp.at and download it on your Android device and save it to your home screen on your Apple device. What is Android? That is an operating system. What is Apple? That is another operating system. Oh, but I cannot eat that operating apple? No, you cannot eat that operating apple. However, you can go onto the Gear Network app and shop on the Amazon and have Apple delivered to you. Oh, that is wonderful. Gear Network app. Hooray! This is a Gear Network production.
Coming to you live from the Gear Network studios in suburban Rochester, New York, this is the Football Talk Weekly Podcast, starring John Cimino and Brandon Gorall, with insight on fantasy football and more. Now, here's JC.
Oh, hello, everybody. We are back here on the Football Talk Podcast. We're going to have to call it Football Talk Monthly, at least, for the off season here.
We're going on the menstrual cycle now for podcasts.
Something like that, yes.
Once a month.
The once a month, you know. But you can, unlike the menstrual cycle, you can trust us.
Right.
Except for fantasy football. We suck with that.
This is going to be over in an hour, not 7 days.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 19 of the Football Talk Monthly Podcast. How's it going? Cimino and Gorall here with you. Mr. Brandon Gorall, say hello.
Hello.
How the hell have you been?
I've been.
You've been?
Yeah.
So, the last time, I'll go ahead and I'll turn the music down here, which we can't hear right now, but you will hear.
It's deafening. It's like a dog whistle.
Well, dog whistles. There you go. There's your soundboard for you, Brandon.
Yeah, my favorite.
I know how much you loved that during the season.
So classy. Yeah.
Okay. So, we left off just before the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
In episode 18. And we were going to have the season finale the next week, and then we didn't.
Yeah, everyone got sick with the plague.
It's been nuts. It's been nuts.
Nobody will get together.
Between sickness and travel for the
Business
real 9
trips.
to 5 and stuff like that, it just wasn't working out. But we are here. We are live, and show enough in your ear holes. We jacked up that Super Bowl, man. We all picked Carolina.
I think everybody jacked that Super Bowl up.
Everybody picked Carolina.
I think Archie Manning was picking Carolina to win that game.
Eli Manning clearly was.
Poor Eli.
Oh man, that guy.
Nothing ever goes right for Eli except for
Eli.
New England Patriots Super Bowls.
Indeed. But since that point in time, the off season has been rather busy.
Yeah, it's had its peaks and valleys, but it seems to be at a peak right now.
It definitely is. So I have broken things down here. I've got quite a bit of news.
Proud of you.
Yes, I actually did.
Not a crumpled piece of paper
I actually
that
did.
you
I got the
throw
iPad.
out the second you get started on the show.
I got the iPad fixed, so
Proud
it's
of
like
you.
it's right there, and it's
What is
all
that?
pretty.
An iPad 2?
It's iPad 4.
iPad 4?
Yes.
Really?
They fixed the screen. They replaced the home button, and now the home button looks like the one on my iPhone here.
Wow.
It used to be the old school indented one with the square.
Yeah.
on there.
That's what I have, the iPad Air 2.
Yeah. But I'm happy with it. It's back. All right, but anyways, let's start off.
Technology.
Let's kick off the football talk with the insane amount of retirements that have happened.
Yeah.
So let's. You know what?
We didn't retire.
For old time's sakes.
Some people thought we did, but... Oh.
Yeah, there we go.
You can hear that.
We are going to start in Seattle. Marshawn Lynch in very Marshawn Lynch fashion. While it hasn't been officially confirmed, or the Seahawks have not moved him to the reserve retirement list yet, took a picture of his cleats hanging above the wire with the little emoji peace sign.
Yep.
Very good. So, Marshawn Lynch from Seattle. Arizona tight end Mike Leach retires. The Giants linebacker John Beeson retires as well. In Carolina, someone you know very well from his time in Minnesota, defensive end Jared Allen.
Cowboy.
Literally rode off, not into the sunset because the weather was bad.
Still part of one of the best ever locker room clips with Favre in the pants on the ground.
Yes.
I told Jared I was going to do this.
His mullet was the stuff of legend, too.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
From Detroit, the Detroit Lions have 2 retirements of note. Cornerback Rashawn Mathis and just announced today, wide receiver Calvin Johnson. Officially announced today.
Yep.
We knew it was coming, but it was made official today. In Oakland, safety Charles Woodson and defensive end Justin Tuck, the former Giant. Pittsburgh's tight end Heath Miller.
Yep.
He has retired as well.
Old and steady.
Tampa Bay guard Logan Mankins has retired. And, of course, the big story of yesterday, as of this recording, we are recording on Super Tuesday, but yesterday, Denver Broncos quarterback Peyton Manning, the old sheriff, hangs it up. And Brandon, honestly, it's a hell of a way to go.
Focus on pizza and Budweisers.
Yeah. I mean, it was rumored, I guess, they didn't. I'll give the Manning camp credit where credit's due. They didn't leak anything out to the media because the media was talking. Oh well, Los Angeles is looking at him, and the Jets might want him, and this team might want him, and give him a try. Who's gonna whatever. But evidently, he started making calls on last Friday to some of his old coaches, his old teammates. It's like, hey, I'm doing it. I'm retiring. I want you to come up to Denver on Monday, and
it's his mulligan for the Super Bowl. He totally dropped it on that old Budweiser reference thing.
Yeah.
Kissing Papa John right after he freaking wins. And then the whole, they had a big party at the hotel afterwards and he was the only guy that didn't show up. And it's pretty lame.
Yeah.
But, at least he handled it this right.
Yeah.
He didn't go Favre on us.
But now he can ride off into the sunset here. And let me just... I started writing down some of Peyton Manning's records. I wanted to get them all. But there's just too many, and I just
commercial endorsements.
I just left it to a few. So Manning retires with the most passing yards of any quarterback, 71,940 passing yards.
That's a lot of touchdown passes.
Most career passing touchdowns, 539.
Yep.
Most career wins in the playoff and regular season at an even 200. Most regular season career wins at 186. Most regular season touchdown passes. He actually broke that record twice. The first in 2006, I believe.
Yeah.
With 50 touchdowns, surpassing Dan Marino's. And then Brady passed him a couple of years later.
Yep.
2013, he broke that with 55 touchdowns. And most seasons with 4,000 passing yards or more, he's had 14 of those.
Yep.
96.5% career passer rating, 251 interceptions. It's... Favre had more, way more.
Well.
9,380 career attempts, 6,125 completions. I mean, 4 Super Bowl appearances, 2-2 in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that second one's going to help.
Yes, definitely.
People didn't leave it alone.
He was a Hall of Famer anyways.
Yeah.
But that pretty much everybody can just shut up about that now.
Yeah.
Because,
it still doesn't slide him into the greatest of all time category, but he's pretty darn good.
For what he didn't do in the Super Bowl, I think him coming off the bench in the last game was very important.
Right.
Because he sealed the deal with the home field advantage.
Yeah.
He made plays in the divisional round against the Steelers.
Yep.
And again against the Patriots.
Oh, he didn't lose it against the Patriots.
He didn't lose it, but he had what was it? I think it was that game, or maybe it was the Steeler game, where he had that 20-yard run. And I was like, shoes!
Yeah, no, that was against the Patriots.
There it is. So, I mean, he at least did something there.
I remember that. Because Brady had one similar in the game, too. So I was like, what is with the two rock-footed quarterbacks actually taking off for 20-yard scrambles?
Right, exactly. So, it's been a joy to watch him and root for him. He was never on my favorite team, the Jets, but he was always someone that I defaulted to because the Jets would routinely miss the playoffs. So,
right.
And then
he was your comfort food.
He was my comfort food in Indianapolis and then again in Denver. So, and I have no shame in admitting that. So, Peyton, here's to you. I'm not tipping back a Budweiser. I am tipping back a Goose 4-star Pilsner, Goose Island. Yeah. But I'm tipping that back to you. So congrats on a great career. We'll see you in Canton. Some other stats to throw out at you, and we'll get into this a little later with one of the other things. You know what? Maybe I'll skip these two stats here for the later segment because it involves Calvin Johnson and Marshawn Lynch. But all right, so with that, those were the retirements. Now, Brandon, we have some news.
Yeah.
So let's start with the Tennessee Titans. DeMarco Murray has been traded from the Eagles to the Titans. He revised his deal. He now has a base value salary of $25.5 million with $12.5 million guaranteed. Brandon, I ask you, Tennessee is the place where people's careers go to die. Is DeMarco Murray going to fall into that category, or is he really going to boost up that team and help out young Marcus
Mariota
and that squad? Are they going to be better with DeMarco Murray?
Not if they don't have a better line. Because as we saw in Philadelphia last year, he is not helped by that terrible line in Philadelphia.
Yeah, that line was historically bad.
Yeah, they weren't the worst, but
no,
he might be going to a pretty bad line in Tennessee. So
it's just crazy.
It depends. I mean, he might be able to take some pressure off of Mariota, and Mariota may be able to take some pressure off of him because Mariota can run too. So, they can do some things with it if they're creative. I think he'll have a better season than he did in Philadelphia. If, Chip Kelly's offense and his commitment to one back was not very conducive.
Right.
I think that Tennessee will go more traditional, especially with Malarkey there. I still can't believe that guy's got a job.
Of all the people in the world, that guy gets yet another chance.
Yeah.
So Rex Ryan, if you don't make the playoffs with the Bills this year and you get fired, there's still hope for you.
He's had more chances than Darryl Strawberry. So
yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad.
Nice Darryl Strawberry reference here.
You always got to work a straw man in. So I think with an offense that's going to commit more to one back and running more often, I think he'll be able to get more of a feel for the game, and I think he'll have a much better season. I don't think he'll return to the glory that he had in Dallas, because Dallas, they had a quarterback, they had a great wide receiver, and they had the best offensive line in the league. But I think he'll be markedly improved over last season. So I think it's a good deal for Tennessee.
I think it's a good deal.
It's a good deal for Philadelphia too. They get money off the books.
They do.
They're good with Sproles and Matthews,
They get money off the books, and the Titans will get a little bit faster. So that's not a bad move. They're still not.
Yeah, and on top of that, I mean, it's a pretty deep draft for running backs this year too. So if they needed somebody behind them, they could always do that too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Your boy Drew Stanton, he's staying with the Cardinals as Carson Palmer's back.
I didn't even know he was still playing.
I didn't either. Jets quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick and the Jets are reportedly not close on a deal,
which gives you ulcers.
He had a career season.
Yeah.
They do want to re-sign him. They're calling his bluff, though. Reportedly, according to...
That's something you want to report to.
Yes.
Like, hey, I know you're bluffing, sir, and I'm going to go with it.
Yes.
No.
They are far apart on a deal. Expect Ryan Fitzpatrick to hit free agency. Now, I've heard multiple stories about this because of the deal that Sam Bradford got.
Yeah.
Which, Bradford did not have as good a year, obviously, as Fitzpatrick.
But he also didn't benefit from good wide receivers.
Right,
either.
True. But the thing is that Fitzpatrick's people are telling him, hey, you just had a career year, this is your time to cash in. From the Jets' perspective...
Where is he going to cash in, though?
That's the thing. I think that's where the Jets
I think that the Jets are like, oh, well, let's play the process of elimination game.
Exactly. I think that... if he latches on somewhere, if he, say Houston picks him up again, or something like that, I could see that happening. I don't see the Jets throwing a lot of money out at him, but I think he is their best chance if they can re-sign him. Again, they're playing the cautious game because they saw what happened in Buffalo, and Buffalo signed him to that big starter money contract deal, and then all of a sudden he went.
Well, I mean, he didn't have starter players around him either. He had a terrible team.
Right.
It was Buffalo. He was trying to reinvent the wheel, and he overdid it. I mean, when he went to Houston, he played well.
He did.
That's why he got traded to New York, so he played well.
He played well in New York. I personally would like to see him back at least one more year.
But you want the right price.
Right. Well,
you don't want to sell the farm for him.
I just want him. I want him there. I don't want Gino.
Yeah.
I don't want Gino taking snaps, and I don't think Bryce Petty is ready. So
no.
So there goes.
He'll be good with another 2-year deal. Mm-hmm. Give him a 2-year contract. Yeah, he'll probably want 3.
Yeah.
Because he's getting older, and after 2 years, he may not be more marketable.
I can still do it.
Yeah.
All right. Mario Williams, released by the Bills, I think last week.
Sure was.
Signs a 2-year deal with the rival Miami Dolphins. Things just got interesting there as far as the defense is concerned.
Yeah.
Williams did not do well in Rex Ryan's defense. He's blaming this, blaming that. Did not have a stellar year, but his previous 3 in Buffalo were good. Very, very good.
Yeah, they were good. I don't know what's going on with Miami. They keep trying to reinvent the wheel, but I think the problem is not really so much on the defensive side, it's on the offensive side.
Right.
And look how many 3-and-outs that team went out with last year.
Well,
they've got a good running back and supposedly a top quarterback.
Mm-hmm. To your point about a pretty terrible offensive line,
yeah,
they didn't really have very much protection for Tannehill at all.
No, they didn't. And they had really no great receivers. I mean, they got some guys stepping up. I forget who that guy is, that rookie that they had. He played really well, but they just cut Jennings. Mm-hmm. They let Mike Wallace go the year before, and now Mike Wallace got cut again.
Incidentally, yes, he was released by the Vikings.
Yeah, he's playing the Jennings game as a team of year he gets released from.
Yep.
These guys, it's funny, guys. Some guys, they think that they're great receivers, and then they go somewhere else for big money, but then they go somewhere that doesn't have a great quarterback.
Right.
And their flaws are exposed.
And that's exactly what happened.
He went to Miami
in the
first.
3 years.
Yeah, he went to Miami first, and Tannehill wasn't ready.
Are you talking about Greg
I'm talking
Jennings?
about Wallace.
Okay, Wallace.
And then he goes and he plays in for Teddy Bridgewater, who's not going to be
conveniently enough
slinging it all over the place.
It was reversed for Greg Jennings.
Right.
He played with Christian Ponder, and then he went to Miami, and he's not that big old Dougie smile there anymore.
Yeah, no more.
Poor guy. But
I liked Greg Jennings. I liked Greg Jennings a lot too. I didn't like how he popped off about Rodgers afterwards not being a leader, but whatever.
Yeah.
Some guys get salty when they got big dough.
Of course. All right. The Buffalo Bills signed Richie Incognito to a 3-year deal. He reportedly left big money on the table elsewhere, quote
I think
unquote,
he left a big something on the table.
Because the Bills, quote, gave him a chance.
Don't you just feel so good inside for poor underdog, poor abused Richie Incognito? I hate saying his name.
Yeah.
I'm just going to call him Richie I from now on.
Yeah, there you go. Good old Richie I. Here's someone I do feel good for because I have a lot of respect for this guy. The Eagles signed former Bills cornerback Leotis McKelvin to a 2-year deal worth just over $6 million. At least he's going to be able to finish his career
in a semi-decent team.
I see the Eagles. I see the Eagles rebounding at least a little bit better.
With Doug Pederson.
The Broncos tag Super Bowl MVP Von Miller. That is worth, I believe it was $17 million.
Yeah,
I think something like that. But he's going to get paid. The Vikings, as we talked to, released Mike Wallace. The Washington football team releases RG3.
Oh my God. Really?
Not a surprise.
RG3? Really?
They tagged Kirk Cousins.
Oh.
He likes that.
Yeah, he likes that. I still don't understand that. Get a deal.
Yeah.
What's your options?
Yeah, it was kind of, I don't know. It's Washington. They do stupid things.
RG3's a free agent.
They do stupid things. All right. Tony Romo.
Surgery again.
Collarbone surgery again. He actually had that today.
He's having the Transformer surgery where they're going to put, armor on him underneath his arm.
The Broncos cut tight end Owen Daniels.
Yep.
The Packers, which
I'm surprised that they cut Owen Daniels. He was their most productive guy. I mean, Thomas was not having a great season, and then they brought in Vernon Davis, and it was like, oh, is he still on the team?
Yeah.
I had no idea. He got a Super Bowl ring.
Yeah.
That's cool for him.
He's like, yeah, San Fran, look at me, fool.
I got a Super Bowl ring.
You know what? He can always say that. It's kind of like Roland,
he was there.
Like Roland Williams.
He was on the field.
Kind of like Roland Williams.
Yeah.
Roland Williams played 4 years, and he's like, I got a Super Bowl ring. Come to my football camp at East High. But he can always say that.
Yep.
I don't have a Super Bowl ring.
I don't either. I don't have any rings.
The Packers are showing interest
I have an O-ring.
in former Bears running back Matt Forte.
Yes, do it.
I would agree with you. That would be a
Sign
pretty good 1-2 punch there with Eddie Lacy.
Oh, God. Just his production out of the backfield running or catching passes, unbelievable.
The freshly trimmed Eddie Lacy.
Whew.
Yeah, I mean, they talk about...
He looks tough.
Yeah, he's just got to...
And he's wearing a white shirt, too, which is a shirt that's not usually... nice to fat people.
Right.
Black is usually the one you want to wear to make you look slimmer, but man, Lacy was wearing the white V-neck and he was looking good.
Yes. Kansas City locks up Tamba Ali with a 3-year extension. And finally, the New England Patriots extend Tom Brady until 2019.
Yeah. So, he'll play through that.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. Honestly, I could see him playing longer than that, but whether or not it's for New England after 2019, who knows? But all right, so
could you imagine him in any other jersey though? Like it was weird enough looking at Peyton in a Broncos uniform, but Tom Brady is the New England Patriots. He gave them their identity.
Yes,
again.
He really is. He really is.
Yeah, it's like watching the hoodie go back and coach the Browns again. You know?
Well, Lombardi coached the Redskins, so I mean, it's
but you know what?
It's one of those.
Nobody wants to talk about that.
I don't know. I mean, it's always weird seeing iconic
historians say that he was there. I don't really believe it. The jury's still out.
Yes. I mean, you see it all the time with iconic players that they try their luck at another team, and it's always weird to see. You go back Johnny Unitas playing for the Rams or the Chargers, rather. Excuse me.
But do you ever foresee a situation where Bob Kraft is just like, you know what, I think it's time to move on from this guy? I don't. He's going to get all the money he wants. He gets to make all the personnel moves.
I would think if Tom Brady had a season like Peyton Manning did last year,
he'll get a new quarterback. That's him, man.
I could see the Patriots saying, hey, maybe you don't have it anymore, and Tom Brady saying, no, screw you, I have it. I can do it. I don't know that he would go the Peyton Manning route where Manning was like, I think I should probably leave on this note.
You're not going to get. You're going to have to murder Tom to get off that field.
He's his neck is considerably healthier. He hasn't had 4 neck surgeries. He had an ACL surgery in 2008 and came back like a bionic football player.
Right.
He hasn't been hurt since. So, it's interesting. But needless to say, as a Jets fan, damn.
Yeah.
All right. On that note, we'll take a quick commercial break. We will come back and we will play a game, Brandon.
We didn't even get to talk about Brock Osweiler.
We can talk about that as soon as we come back. Right after this. I'm often asked about the logos of the show and Gear Network and everything. It comes to me, JC, where do you get the designs, the cool designs for the show and everything? And I want to tell you, I'm going to tell everybody right now, right here, you heard it here, it is Indie Card Media. Indie Card Media is a local business that specializes in making quality designs for your website or your business. Whatever you do, they can do it. If you need proof, you can look at all of our logos, or you can go to facebook.com/IndieCardMedia to see all of the designs, which include a political banner, because they've done political banners and everything. Nothing is off limits with them. Give Eric a shout at IndieCardMafia@gmail.com and he will help you bring your design to life. Tell him Gear Network sent you, and hey, he may hook you up with a little something, or at least a smile, because you heard it here. But go to IndieCard Media Facebook. Again, facebook.com/IndieCard Media. Do it now. Bring your designs to life. Hey, Dawn, how's it going?
Living the dream. I'm actually just getting ready to do this commercial.
Oh, you mean the commercial where I tell our listeners to tune into Gear Network every week to listen to our show, Get Ready America? That one?
Yeah, John, that's the one.
They can also listen to us talk about news, sports, whatever's on our minds, that.
And a little what's on our listeners' minds, but they're just too nice to say it.
Well, that, Dawn, is a real humdinger. Come join us this and every week for Get Ready America exclusively on the Gear Radio Network.
And the Gear Network app.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I am Ryan Wolf.
It's Mr. Perez.
And I have a question for you, Perez.
What's your question?
Do you like to listen to people talk about sports?
No. Of
course I like sports and listening to people talk about sports.
Well, guess what? I have the perfect solution for you.
Solution for me?
There's a podcast on this very network.
This network?
Every single week you can hear it.
Really?
New content, latest and breaking news. We talk about baseball, football, hockey, basketball, soccer, UFC, whatever you want to talk about.
So sports in general.
They talk about sports in general. You got it.
I like it.
You know the dictionary.
I like it.
Very proud of you.
Thank you.
I must say, tune in. We are better live than dead.
You're not.
Every single week. You're not going to want to miss it. Exclusively here on the Gear Radio Network.
Breaking news just in, Brandon. It's breaking now as of recording. So obviously on Wednesday, today, that you're listening, or whenever the hell you're listening to this podcast, it won't be so breaking news, you'll probably already know, but non-black Adam Schefter from ESPN reports that linebacker Bruce Irvin is going to sign with the Oakland Raiders on Wednesday.
Oh.
All right.
That's a big loss for the Seahawks.
Yes. Yes, it is.
That's a good get for the Raiders, though. They're building something over there.
They are.
They're doing it the right way.
Just
no
win.
Al Davis to interfere anymore.
Just win, baby.
Hey, Marcus Allen, I know you won us a Super Bowl and you're the best running back in the league. Why don't you be a fullback? Why don't you get out there and block for me, boy?
Yes. Yes, there you go. There you go. You were saying something about Brock Osweiler before we left?
Yeah, he hasn't signed anywhere. The Broncos offered him a pretty pedestrian deal. There's some interest there from the Texans, too. Texans could pull out some money for him. Mm-hmm. You never know. Mm-hmm. That's a name that would fit with the Houston Texans. Houston Texan quarterback Brock Osweiler. This seems, like a Texan name. Brock. Brock's walking into the saloon.
I'd take him.
Throwing
in New
three
York.
interceptions.
I'd take him in New York.
Yeah, I don't know. He might be okay, but
I'd take anybody over Geno Smith right now.
Yeah,
honestly, it's not like we're playing the Miami Dolphins.
The ghost of Vinny Testaverde. Wait, he's alive still.
All right, Brandon, we are going to play a game.
Oh, I like games.
I stole it from the Radio Press Box.
Oh, you're just.
I'm full of gimmicks.
Stealing stuff
today.
from the gene pool.
I don't care, man. I don't care. They want to
you TM it.
Do they want to fight me about it? You want to fight? Fight!
All right.
Anyways, like it, love it, or shove it. So I have different scenarios here, and I want you to tell me whether you like it, love it, or shove it, and why. So we'll begin. The like it, love it, or shove it. The Broncos repeat as Super Bowl champs.
Shove it.
Is it because of the Brock Osweiler thing, or?
No, they're not going to do it 2 years in a row. Look at the great defenses. Have they ever repeated?
No.
The Ravens didn't do it. The Ravens had a better defense than both those teams. Mm-hmm. Didn't repeat.
Seahawks almost did.
Seahawks almost did, but didn't. Mm-hmm. And that defense didn't come to play in that game because Brady picked them apart.
Right.
So, yeah, no.
Okay.
And, the rest of the team's in flux right now.
RG3 starts next season somewhere.
Starts?
At some point during the season. Maybe not kickoff starter. But
with an injury, I like it, but I don't love it.
Okay.
I'm not going to get that. I think he's going to get another chance somewhere. He may do really well in camp, get a second string job. Mm-hmm. Somebody goes down, he could start some games.
Now, where do you think he's going to wind up? Just throwing it out.
He's going to have to go somewhere that will accept him for who he is and accept his skills. Mm-hmm. There's not a lot of teams that need quarterbacks right now.
What about Denver?
No.
They're linked because a lot of people are thinking he might wind up there.
No, let's just get out of there now.
Okay.
No. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go to a team like Pittsburgh, to be honest. Get behind Big Ben, because they have no real backup. Landry Jones, come on. Give me a break.
Right.
Michael Vick, no.
No, Vick will be gone.
Griffin, I could see him backing up in Pittsburgh. Depends on how the draft goes. Mm-hmm. I also wouldn't be totally shocked to see him be a Cleveland Brown. I wouldn't be shocked to see him go there.
Okay. All right.
Trying to think of any other teams. There's not really anybody else that needs anybody right now, and not anybody that needs a second string quarterback either.
Right. Okay.
So I think, there's a couple of his options, but
good segue. You mentioning the Cleveland Browns.
Rams maybe.
Johnny Manziel. Does he play next season? Like it, love it, or
shove it. He's not going. He's not playing anywhere.
You don't think he's playing anywhere?
No one's going to touch that guy right now.
Okay. Sorry, John. Football.
He's not Hansel.
No.
He's not hot right now.
The Buffalo Bills end their drought and make the playoffs. Like it, love it, or shove it.
Like it.
You're not going to love it like you did last year?
No, I'm not going to love it. I'm going to tepidly like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to shove it.
Of course you are.
No, it's not because of the allegiance to the Jets.
You don't think that Tyrod's going to progress? You don't think they're going to learn from their mistakes?
I think Rex is going to Rex and Buffalo is going to Buffalo.
Maybe.
I think that's what they were going to do.
Rex did make some playoffs,
He did. He made 2 playoffs.
Sanchez.
Out of 7 years.
AFC Championship games.
He made 2 playoffs in 7 years.
There's a lot of coaches that haven't been that far.
Right. There's also a lot of coaches that have made the playoffs a little more than 7 years.
Yeah.
In 7 years.
2 out of 7, yeah.
So, I mean, I like...
Mike McCarthy's won a Super Bowl, but he hasn't gotten past the second round the rest of the time. Well, he got to the AFC Championship game last year.
But he makes the playoffs.
Yeah, but you have Aaron Rodgers.
True.
Compare that to Mark Sanchez and Geno Smith.
All right.
Got to cut the guy a little bit of slack.
I know. I like Rex Ryan, and I would like to see him... I think
succeed. This will be the year that they squeak in and steal a wild card.
I am going to be like every other apprehensive Bills fan that I know and say I'll believe it when I see it. For now, I'm going to shove it with a possibility of liking it. I reserve the right, like you did, when you switched...
not a lot of people thought the Redskins were going to make the playoffs last year.
That's very true. That's very true. So
they came out of nowhere.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, it's really going to depend on it's going to depend on Miami, because Miami was supposed to be Miami made a bunch of moves in the previous season, and they were supposed to be their year, and then they just tanked. They didn't do anything, so the Bills had a shot.
And they made a bunch of moves again this year.
No, right. We'll see. The Jets will re-sign Ryan Fitzpatrick after all is said and done. Like it, love it, or shove it.
I like it. Mm-hmm. He's not going to go anywhere else. I'd borderline love it. He's not going anywhere.
I will.
He just wants more money. He's a smart guy.
Right. He's Harvard grad.
Right. He's Harvard grad. Wonderlic genius. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Beard.
Yes. I'm sure at some point they will re-sign. I can't see him going anywhere else, honestly.
Is he going to go back to Houston?
It'll be his seventh. No. It'll be his 7th team in almost as many years.
He may be a Cleveland Brown? Maybe.
Yeah. Anybody could be a Cleveland Brown. I could try out and be a Cleveland Brown.
You're always taking him to the Super Bowl.
There you go.
Hey-o!
The Patriots will win one more Super Bowl before Tom Brady retires. Like it, love it, or shove it.
Like it? Yeah, I think his window's still pretty open.
I'm gonna say love it.
Yeah,
I'm going to say love it.
I was close to that neighborhood.
The reason why I'm going to say love it, as much as I don't want to say love it, is that he's the last of the Mohicans, man.
Yeah,
there is no other quarterback in the AFC right now,
right?
That can rival Tom Brady at this point.
No,
it was always Tom Brady and Peyton Manning.
Yeah,
you had those two there. Roethlisberger is like a thorn in his side.
He's interesting because guy's
like every once in a while.
That guy can freaking ball, and I hate it.
Him, but it was always Brady.
Yeah, who's gonna challenge him? Flacco?
It's not gonna be Flacco. It's not gonna be Rivers.
It's not gonna be Andy Dalton.
Exactly. So I think with Peyton with the
but that's a Super Bowl though. He's got to win the Super Bowl. Well, the NFC's got some pretty good quarterbacks.
Right. Yeah. They do.
Still got that Rodgers guy.
They do. They very much do. If they
call my shot, they're winning it next year.
You think? Okay,
absolutely.
All right, I'll try and reference this.
Love it
when we do.
Flaming love, on fire.
Oh, jeez. All right. So the final two here.
Oh,
I'm going to ask you this. Marshawn 2,144 attempts for 9,112 yards, 74 touchdowns, 2 Super Bowl appearances, 1 Super Bowl ring. Marshawn Lynch, Hall of Famer. Like it, love it, or shove it.
I like it. He won't get in on the first ballot. Doesn't have the numbers for his first ballot, and he was very salty to the media, and they're the ones who vote on it.
Okay.
They have a hand in it, I should say. So, yeah, I think that he'll get in. I just don't think it'll be right away.
Okay. Calvin Johnson, 11,619
You're asking
yards.
for that, love it.
83 touchdowns, 731 receptions. A Hall of Famer. You
Yeah,
say
absolutely
love
love it. Yeah.
A lot of people are actually liking it, borderline shoving it, and I don't really know that.
I don't understand
I don't
that.
know that I understand
because
that
he was
at
on
all.
losing teams.
Right.
The guy wasn't disruptive in the locker room. Mm-hmm. He put up freakish numbers. Mm-hmm. He could ball against anybody. No, that's stupid. Mm-hmm. That's completely stupid. If Marvin Harrison's getting in when he's having probably one of the best quarterbacks ever to throw to him,
right,
and he gets into the Hall of Fame and Megatron doesn't, that's complete misuse of the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
It's complete misuse. The guy has been probably the most feared wide receiver, the most game-planned wide receiver, and you can game plan all you want, and the guy still was putting up sick numbers every single week. So,
I mean,
no, that's nonsense.
Retiring on top, as far as he is concerned.
Tell them to get the salt out of their bathing suits.
30 years old, retiring. I mean, you got to hand it to the guy. He clearly could still go.
He walked away with his health.
To,
he sees all these people, man. A lot of these guys are seeing it. Mm-hmm. You go in, you make your money, and then you retire in the sunset with your health. You don't have to play all these years anymore. I mean, these guys are killing themselves after a career, and some guys are, like, look at Montana. Mm-hmm. Do you hear this stuff that he has to go through? That guy can barely walk.
Yeah.
He's got nerve damage in his back, his neck. He's having his 3rd neck surgery this year.
Jeez.
The guy's a mess.
I mean, Peyton Manning, I can see being wheelchair bound.
Right. Manning's going to have trouble when he gets older, too.
Yep.
He's going to struggle.
Favre, too.
Favre, yes. I think it'll be more mental, though.
You think?
I think Favre's physical is okay. Mentally, I think he's going to pay a price.
Well, Montana and Manning, DDP yoga, bro. Just saying.
Yeah.
Get with Diamond Dallas Page. I'm friends with him on LinkedIn. So
all right.
All right. Well, that's gonna do it for the actual football news portion of it. Since we haven't had an opportunity to honestly converse on a podcast or have a podcast in a while, what's been up, man?
Nothing.
No,
been working.
Right now, you're
I'm watching the Pittsburgh Penguins game, and Malkin just hit a post. 1-1. Okay. Anyways, not anybody cares. I'm working at my first business trip.
All right.
Out to Chicago. Played this pretty wild thing. If any of our listeners have it in their area, I suggest doing it. It's called Whirly Ball. It's pretty crazy. It's kind of like playing basketball. You get a group of friends together and go 5-on-5 in these bumper cars and just ram the crap out of each other and try to throw a wiffle ball into a basket. So, it's fun. Other than that, man, living the dream.
Good.
Kids.
Kids.
Life.
Stuff. All right. What are you looking forward to this weekend?
What am I doing this weekend? Oh, I'm doing a brew run on Saturday.
Okay.
St. Patty's Day Parade.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what I'm doing this weekend.
All right.
It's exciting.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
I'll be drinking beer, smoking cigars, and watching sports or politics.
Oh, yeah.
That's good, yeah. And speaking of politics, we will be doing Get Ready America this week.
Yeah.
And as well, I will...
I got to drop by that thing.
Yes, you should. Tentatively, we haven't done it in a few weeks because of pretty much the same reason for this, but... and building the app and all that stuff, too, and getting new affiliates and stuff. By the way, I mentioned to you, we've got affiliations with Skechers and DirecTV now.
DirecTV? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I know. It just got approved.
I just looked at the Skechers.
No, just got approved for it.
Nice.
So it's kind of too bad that
moving on up in the world.
Something like that.
I have DirecTV.
We'll see. Yeah,
they just gave me a discount on the phone today.
Hey!
Called to cancel Stars, add HBO, and they're like, do you want to keep it? You can get it for this price. It's $7 more. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. They're like, oh, we have a special too. He says you can do the Showtime or the Cinemax and for like 6 months for $10.99. I was like, I don't really want Cinemax. I just want HBO, and that's all. And she's like, well, how about I give you the price of $10.99 for HBO? I was like, all right, done deal. I'll take it.
Very good. I'll tell you when my contract with Verizon expires and I go to AT&T.
Yeah.
That's when I think I might jump to.
Yeah, how do you feel about that? Because, I've been hearing mixed things on AT&T.
I hate Verizon.
I do, too. Sound like a Louis C.K. I hate Verizon.
Listen. I am.
What? Because that Axl Rose photo didn't download fast enough on your phone?
What? No, because I worked at that freaking hellhole and I know what it does to people.
I don't like it either, but whatever.
So at this point, I don't care.
I do like the idea of unlimited data.
That's what the AT. Well,
because I want to.
That was one thing that AT&T said is if you have DirecTV, you can sign up for a plan with them. And you get unlimited data, but once you hit
21 gigs
or something like that, they slow it down.
I'll never do that.
Realistically, I don't know who's going to do that. I stay
under 3 because I'm restricted to 3, but I'm never going to go 7 times my limit. I work from home, and I'm on Wi-Fi 95% of the time.
That's true, you lucky sumbitch, you.
I use my data when I go to the gym or go for a run.
Okay.
Or drive sometimes with music.
Well, before I go...
So I might do it. Maybe.
Just needed to throw that in there.
Oh.
All right. We're going to go ahead and we are going to put the kibosh on the podcast for this month here. And
come back for a draft. I should come up a little less than a month. We got the draft coming up next month.
Yeah, the draft will be coming up next month. I talked to Tommy the Body from Bowling, who writes for Dolphins Talk.
Yeah.
Going to try and get him on. He does mock drafts and stuff too, so probably try and have him called in too.
We should do it like Wayne's World. Mock draft! Excellent!
Yes.
We should.
All right. I'm sure we can mix something.
Half of our listening audience doesn't even know what that is.
Yes. Go watch Wayne's World. Come on, it's not that old.
Saturday Night Live used to be good.
Yes, it did. This has been a copyrighted podcast of the Gear Network, and any rebroadcast or reproduction without the express written permission of me, the owner of the network, is strictly prohibited. Get Ready America, as I mentioned, will be new this week. Misguided Musings will be new this week. I believe I will be making an appearance on Misguided Musings as well. So, hello, Boston. How are you? Anyways, Brandon, we shall do this again next month, shall we?
We shall.
All right, good day to you, sir.
And good day to you, sir.
So long, everybody. Good night now.
The preceding presentation has been brought to you by the Gear Network.